Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with a loaded edition of VR news. I joke because this is actually probably one of the quietest weeks of news I've seen in a while. I mean, it's officially summer.
I think the catchphrase should be where the news is loaded and the hosts aren't. Every week you say
it's a loaded week.
That
it pops into
boom. I'm like,
that's funny.
Kind of want to capitalize.
That's our new
one.
catchphrase, where the news is loaded, but the hosts aren't. Maybe one day we'll do a loaded news episode too. I'm just kidding.
No, dude. Not drinking. I can't. I get way too loose.
Drinking and podcasting is dangerous.
And we'll do it live, man. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. I think
nope.
Those are the only times we've ever gotten maybe a little too silly behind the mic. But anyway, like I said, not the most packed news this week.
It's summer, dude.
Yeah, summer's always a slow time for the gaming industry.
Across the country, it's like other country peeps are vacationing. It's summer.
So there's not a whole bunch of news.
But you know what I was thinking at?
What?
Sorry, I don't mean to keep digressing.
No, it's okay. Do your thing.
We have surpassed the 1 year anniversary of when we were in Stockholm and London for the Ghost of Tabor event. And I got the
memories on Facebook and stuff I saw popping up for me.
And when I saw all the pictures of Stockholm, I got sad. I was like, this is the perfect time of year to be there. It's like undoubtedly. And then I relived all the memories because I took so many pictures that aren't even in just random shit that would be nothing to nobody.
Sometimes like Apple Photos will do like a little made montage. I don't know if they ever do that for you.
Yes, they do.
It's usually pretty good too.
And I did see, not related to what we're talking about, but there was some scuttlebutt about Meta's AI wanting to have access to everyone's photos in your camera reel, in your phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. For better grouping and understandings, but it obviously has set off some trigger warnings for a lot of people to be like, well, I mean, it's not for, you're not going to have to, but I'm scared that like, just like that default searching for shit, might have to see when this rolls out. Like if you need to go in there and check day one to be like, hey, at 12 o'clock, we have access to your camera. Or your photos in your camera roll.
I use Google Photos to like migrate my photos from my phone to that for cloud storage. So I don't remember if it's Apple that does it or if it's Google, since I use both Google Photos and Apple Photos. But one of them will clip all the faces from the photos and
put them in category.
Tell you who they think it is.
Yep.
It's wild. I think
creepy.
Apple does that with my contacts as well. I'm pretty sure. I would need to confirm.
Yeah, I was
crazy
impressed.
times.
Remember Messenger? It used to always just be a phone number, but then someone sends you a message, it'll instantly be,
maybe
Fred.
I see maybe a lot. Maybe
Fred. Just waiting for you to be like, tell me I'm right, bro. I know I'm right. I know I am because I'm in his phone too. So don't act like it's not.
Wild times.
What's crazy is, does that mean that if you got like one of those random texts, somebody be like, hi, I'm so-and-so, but the name is like, might be James. It's possible, right?
Filtering out the spam right there for you.
Anywho.
But even though it wasn't the most packed week of news, I will say, good old mighty Coconut carrying us along.
They held the
torch strong.
It's only actually, there's probably 3 real strong points for this week, but they're definitely one of the top tier on this one.
Well, we talked last week that they announced their Crystal Lair course, which we could feel coming because it felt like...
Remember I was saying 2 weeks ago, I'm like, dude,
it's just about the amount of time a course should come out, right?
We're missing something here.
Yeah, and Walkabout's been doing this thing where like they'll announce the course and a week or two later, baby's out. Yeah. There's not like this
next one's already sitting on deck, I'm sure.
I remember we knew Elvis was coming for quite a while. Sometimes they do that with their IPs, that they'll announce their IP.
Put out a different course next, then do the... Yeah, I think they did that with Elvis, didn't they?
Yeah, usually a lot of times their IP courses they announce in advance, do like an initial beat about it, and then the release date will come like a week before the launch, like how they do their other courses. But like their in-house non-IP courses seem to like be announced with a release date like a week before they're going to come out. It's like almost a shock drop.
just from the short time frame, but I love how they're just like self-market though.
Oh, they're
100% in-house everything.
They're their own
It's
beast.
like,
They're
it's
a
really-
well-oiled machine.
As far as like structurally, personality, it's like we say it a lot. It's like they really are the perfect package. You can't fairly compare them to other studios.
Mm-hmm.
They do their own thing. I don't think they look to anybody for how-tos or why-tos, and it's like they haven't deviated.
There's only a few studios
They make mini golf.
There's only a few studios that can have one game continue to support them for years in VR, like Beat Saber with Beat Games, right? Walkabout Mini Golf, Mighty Coconut.
Even though Beat Saber sold.
Well, they sold to Meta.
Yeah.
But Beat Games is still the studio.
I'm just saying.
They do one game.
Mighty Coconut
does one game as well, too. There's only a few studios that can do that, just survive off that one title. So if you think of everything as like repetition and like building muscle, like, you're doing reps and stuff, look at how many reps they've had with marketing this one game. Like they have it down to such a well-oiled machine at this point. It's like new course, one more rep. New course, one more rep. New feature, one more rep. Like they've just so tuned in.
I got a prediction with them.
What's that?
So I think sometime in their future, because we know they're going to continue to do these, right?
I think you could forever.
So the upside is as technology gets better, they can always go back and re-resolution their older games, and they'll look a little. They'll look better just inherently if they even choose to, or they'll just as the technology progresses.
Just like they drop Quest 1 support, then eventually Quest 2 support drop. But
I predicted there will be a drop someday, and I could be so wrong on this. That they're going to take the photorealism route for one course, and they're going to drop it. And everyone's so accustomed. It's almost like
the real VR fishing.
Like if when the Simpsons did the Real World episode, it was like the Simpsons were real for an episode.
They've also done weird 3D stuff.
How shocking would it be to open up and see like that, like Golf Plus?
There's just one
Mini
course
golf.
that's
just
completely
one course
different.
that they're going to just kill us with the realism.
It's possible. I'd say nothing with Mighty Coconut is impossible.
No, I'm sure somebody's brought that up at least once, and it might have gotten laughed out of the room. But I could see it happening just because they're in it for the long game. I don't see them going anywhere as long as there's VR headsets, and the community will always embrace this freaking game, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that's a far off prediction.
But Crystal Lair.
Yes, that is what we came here to talk about with Mighty Coconut today with Walkabout
At
Mini
the
Golf.
resort. You were at a resort in this one.
We talked last week that they announced it, and then this past week it came out. And it also launched beyond the course, which we'll talk about in a second, with what they call CocoVision.
CocoVision.
Which is a built-in live camera, which seems to be coming to more and more games. I think anything multiplayer, even a lot of times single player, just for like resharing moments, like I think we're going to see a day that this is almost the standard in games to have this type of feature in VR games.
The marriage between live and any studio that is capable for, there's some games where it just, you don't need, but from a creator standpoint,
it's amazing.
It's like, I don't anticipate on average, I feel the creator, the Twitch streamer, they're going to utilize these things more, but you're giving people the tools now to do it. And, dude, think of how impressed we were the first time we ever played a game and I had a selfie cam on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Like a real VR fishing, I think was the first one where we were taking selfies with each other.
I want to say the rat game we played way back when on App Lab.
They had the built-in feature?
Yep. I think but remember what your characters, I think.
It's possible.
I'm not 100%. That was a cool little game.
Yeah, never got
Bring back the App Lab days, man. There were some gems on there.
I don't think that you can play. I don't think you can get it anymore.
No.
Rodent People Origins.
Yeah, I think
I'll confirm that.
No, I thought a couple of years ago it got killed.
I think somebody mentioned that to us last time we brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
That was our turn on to App Lab. Let's see. Is it available?
It was a fun little game.
Is it available for download?
By today's standards,
no,
people might get pissed if you recommended it.
There's no download.
Look at the ratings on it. Look at how it left the game.
5-star, 11 reviews.
Right. Now, this was the epitome of App Lab, though.
Look.
Oh, my review?
Yeah.
From 2021.
Yep. I'm
July
there,
almost.
Zimtalk, who's a very good creator, we met him at Connect as well too. Wicked cool dude.
Yeah.
He left them a review. The game had potential, man. I really think the developer should just like re-get it up to date to be compliant, do like one little push of it just to see.
By today's standards, I told you, it pissed people off.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was graphically weird.
Dude, okay. Rodent People remastered. Just remaster it, relaunch it.
Yeah.
It had potential.
With today's ecosystem, it won't work.
I know.
It works on, if this was on App Lab,
which it was,
that would work. But in today's world of, you know.
You want to go back in there? Because we can still play it because it's in our library. If the servers are available, let's see if that's even a
I don't
thing.
even think it's.
I think it would be funny to see.
Although we could reach out to him.
Yeah, dude, I think he should remaster this and just do a little push of it. Just to see.
But I think he left development and went into like crypto and
stuff.
shit.
I think
Yeah.
so too, yeah.
So for all we know, he's sitting on a yacht.
All right. Another one of
A yacht somewhere,
another,
you know.
Another
He was at
coin in,
Bezos' wedding.
another coin in the sidetracked jar.
Yeah.
But CocoVision is the built-in.
I love that they call it CocoVision too.
They're so
dude,
good with branding and stuff.
Who else is doing what they're doing for other than Live?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Oh, for like pushing these type of features? Yeah. Well, Liv does such a great job with making these features accessible, both for independent creators, like downloading their software and using.
Go to their Discord. They'll walk you through it.
I think it was one of the times after we met Adam on Body, you were like, all right, let me really check what this Liv thing is about. And
it was in New York City.
You were blown away once you actually, it was one of the time. I think it might have been. Or it might have been earlier. I don't remember.
No, I listened to Adam Baum talk to a few different people about it because they had some questions.
And you were like, let me go check this shit out.
And I was never really sold on it, even though I knew the benefits of it. But I got that little dopamine push hearing her talk about it. And that's when I was like, yo, dude, I think this year I need to figure out how to really make this work because for videos, I think it's a game changer. At least for quality of videos, for showing clips, other than just
best case though is developers integrate it themselves.
Yeah, you're making it easy for everybody.
Yeah, creators and just even dude. I don't think it's a creator only thing. I think there's value in sharing footage with friends.
If we weren't doing what we're doing, we would take advantage of it.
I would still be like, dude, check out
so
this
many
shot.
people don't do like selfies and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but I think the games that used it, we were freaking loving it before we even started the podcast.
I love this announcement more than any mini game announcement.
Oh, yeah, I agree. This is a really cool built-in feature, but Crystal Lair as well. I can't use the word favorites. Best.
Definitely not. No,
it's nothing like that, but I am so unbelievably impressed at the amount of fun that the magnetic crystals are, because the Crystal Lair series always brings a new gameplay mechanic. Not every course does. Some courses are more what I would call traditional. Like you could almost do it in real life.
I like how they put this one right in the practice.
The feature of it? Yeah, that's cool too.
Like
that's true too. So if you go do in the home screen before you select a course, the practice area, this feature is there as well,
and I rarely would ever say this, but because it's there, I would learn how that gravity works because it's
can
going to
kill you, or you can use it to your benefit.
It's going to be so needed, and there's so many times you're going to want it to loop around it and hit the backside. And the way they have the trajectory, it seems like you're almost going to guarantee a hole in one if you can take advantage of using those things properly. But when you can't, kiss your score goodbye.
Just in case somebody's not playing it, just to give the visual of what it is, there's like a big crystal of it, and you can see the gravitational pull around it. They do a good job of like illustrating it. There's almost like these waves on the floor that are coming out. Waves is the wrong description for it. It's like these circular,
almost like sound waves. Patterns.
Yeah.
Sound waves.
So you have an idea of where you run by. If your ball goes
in the middle and it's weaker on the end.
Correct. If you go by one of the parts nice, like not fast enough, because you can zoom by it if you hit it hard enough. But if you go at the right, softness, it's going to suck you in.
Hook around a corner.
It's going to suck you into the pole, and usually it pulls you right to where it pulls you. But as you're referencing, if you hit it at the right trajectory, you can use the pole to kind of like, as you're moving, it'll pull you in, but circle you around the crystal. And then you go to the backside of it. And usually the hole, like that type of shot with a lot of the crystals, will put you right near the hole. In some cases, even a hole in one.
There's going to be physics classes all over the country using this course.
This is one of the coolest.
It's basically the only new mechanic, I think, introduced in this course.
Yes, because the hard course.
I don't see or recall anything other than the gravity orbs.
The hard course uses this feature on steroids. It's like there's so many crystals on every hole in the hard mode. I have so much fun in the hard mode of this one, but the normal mode too.
Yeah, I wonder how many times they had to talk themselves back. Be like, that's a little excessive.
Yeah, like sizing it. Don't put one there.
The amount of orbs they probably in certain courses.
Some of them have some of the holes have a lot of them, so I totally could see this. Like, dude, you put 6 of them. What are you guys doing? Cut out 2 of them.
There's currently 2 holes that just, man, they get the better of me.
Oh yeah, this is not a good score for me.
There's other holes I'm like crushing it on, but my scores aren't terrible.
You had what might be the longest hole in one I've ever seen.
It looked like Samson had the same one.
This very, very, very similar.
Yeah.
The same exact hole.
You watch that video that we have up and you see where I hit it. It's like you can duplicate that.
You hit it from like back and forth from the crystal.
Go get a coffee.
How long do you think it did? A minute hitting from the crystal to a wall back and forth?
It was probably like, because in real time, time goes.
No, the clip was a minute and a half.
Really?
Yeah. It was a minute and a half clip.
I mean, internally when I was watching it happen,
pretty sure. Let me
even though if like you listen to the audio, we're like laughing. You might be able to hear a little like concern on my end.
I'm sorry. A minute and 3 seconds is the clip.
Okay. And that's from hitting the ball till in the cup.
Yeah, with a couple seconds of laughing. So it was a minute.
At least it was a minute of the ball.
Shot.
Yeah, I was hoping and praying, 'cause I've never, knock on wood, I have never had an issue on release of any Walkabout product of any which way or form, right? And for at least 10 seconds.
We were saying, uh-oh.
I was like, huh? I'm internally like,
is this a potential bug?
I don't want to record this. Yeah, I was happy we were, because I'm like, we're going to have to send this up and be like, yo, I was stuck.
Yeah, this course is coming out in a couple days.
So it was just about reaching a point where I was like, do you think it's ever going to stop? But I was trying to be hopeful. And I'm like, oh, any second now. I think I said something hopeful. And when it ever happened, and the reactions in the video are so freaking legit, dude. I'm so happy that we have it captured.
Well, after bouncing back and forth from the crystal for a minute, it finally caught the perfect topness and looped around perfectly in line with the hole, and you got a hole in one.
A hole in one after all that.
We were dying.
And then Samson posted
Samson from Let's Talk Oculus.
Let's Talk Oculus.
He had the same exact hole.
From our awesome state of Massachusetts.
You guys are hole buddies. This course, I'm in love with it. I have so much fun with it. Like, if we go into Walkabout right now, it's the course I'm asking to play. I'm hooked. I don't care about my score.
I have no favorite. I might have a top 5.
But this is my recent one I'm enjoying the most.
I have noticed a lot of people who are diehard Walkabout, when a new course drops, it's their new favorite.
Yeah.
Then they publicly will say so. I won't say that, but I will say we've played this one more.
I'm having the most fun
for a new course.
It's the one I want to play the most.
Yeah. Right now at this moment in time. But I'll tell you right now, if they were to say, hey, you like that course, you should see what we're coming out with next month.
Totally possible.
That's probably going to be my new course. I'm just at the mercy of whatever they put in front of me.
Well, let's
where it gets sad for me is where some of my oldies but goodies, like, oh man, I love this course, takes a mental bump because they drop another course. And I'm like, oh,
like Mount
man.
Olympus, we loved.
Come on, Labyrinth.
So now I'm hooked on this one. But I'll close on this of why I think. We'll close on talking about this feature of why I think I love it so much. If you look at a lot of the features that they add, especially for the Evil Lair series, so far they've added lasers. Lasers, if you hit it, destroys your ball.
Cuts it right in half.
And they've added the freeze.
Freezes. Turn on black ice.
Yep.
Great mechanics in that one, though.
Well, sometimes you can use that to your advantage, but it's like it's such a detriment. It's almost
when they have the dry
detriment.
spots,
Yes,
too.
it's tough. Whereas the magnetic is an enhancer. The other two are setbacks. This is an enhancer. And I think that's the reason I like it so much. It doesn't destroy my ball. It adds crazy, hilarious unpredictability.
I don't play nothing that destroys my ball. Skip that course.
So I think they're like hole in one on that feature. It's so fun. I'm addicted to the crystals.
It's a great course.
And the fox hunt in the hard mode. I do better on the the normal mode than the hard mode, but I think I like the hard mode more just because of the amount of crystals in it. They went so hard in the paint with crystals in that hard mode. I think the hard mode has like crazier shots, crazier stuff happen, but I love both of them too.
So I'm going to put something in the universe just because I'm curious.
What's that?
It's easy to say, like, what's your favorite walkabout course? Ready? And I do not expect an answer today.
Mm-hmm.
We can revisit this in a week. What course has your favorite soundtrack?
I would need to go. That's a good question.
Right?
I need to go in and just sit.
Because it's not an easy
ambience.
answer, dude. It's not. The Christmas one,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God. It was beautiful.
But
There's two other courses that come to mind where I'm like, this is a tough question.
that's a good question for the audience. If you got a thought of
I'm
it
curious
already,
what the
drop
composer
it.
thinks
Yeah.
is his favorite.
Drop it in the comments.
Might be the world's least favorite.
But I was gonna say too that the fox hunt in the hard mode is so hilarious. Like the clues in them, they spoof on that crystal
Occasionally
lair.
Walkabout gets loose.
They spoof on that crystal lair so hard. I'm not gonna give any spoilers of it besides say this is the most expensive Walkabout Mini Golf DLC course I've played. It's still $3.99. Not real money.
We were going to add it up.
Yeah.
All the things
I
if
forgot
you were to buy everything.
Yeah.
Like I want the fucking I want the total package. I'm
Yes,
trying to
yes.
do better swearing, so I apologize.
I want to be silly with saying it's the most expensive course. I don't want anyone to think it is actually priced differently.
No,
I'm
you buy the
referencing
course for just things you see.
Yeah, there's
Bring
some
a
funny
calculator.
jokes in there with the lore that would make you say, "Oh wow, you're spending a lot of coconut bucks
Yeah.
to
I'm
attend
gonna be-
this
I'm gonna be-
resort."
But I kept going up to the counter and I'm like, just give me everything.
Yeah, check me in. Yeah, we were role playing with it.
And of course there's some Easter eggs in this course, so
There's one I don't.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah,
You can search them out. I mean, or
if you look like you should talk in it, talk in it.
yeah, that's a good spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. I mean, because
I didn't
that's
tell
how you figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
Everything I see, I try to touch or play with.
We had so much fun looking at the donor kebab and stuff too.
yeah, it
In
was
the cafe
I was
section.
trying
Beautiful
to shave
course.
some up.
Beautiful course.
Dude, I took it. I'm getting for the price of how expensive it is to be on that resort. Damn it, I'm getting my money's worth. 'Cause
Taking
I
all
don't think
footage.
I mean,
I didn't find a dead employee yet.
I have not.
But
I did not find a dead employee yet.
And somebody probably has, but great course.
That'd be
Absolutely.
Amelia 8.3 seconds into opening the game.
Absolutely killer course.
Yeah.
Some of the most fun you'll have for $3.99 in VR. I mean,
It's cheaper than a cup of coffee.
I know
The frick outta
recency
here.
bias. I need to revisit in a month just to make sure, but I'm hooked on the crystals. It's so fun.
Dude, we can play the first court, which we have. We've gone
Tourist
back
Trap?
and played.
Not Tourist Trap, whatever the first one was.
Um,
Frick, what is it?
We've played all the different,
Mhm.
starting from scratch again.
Mhm.
So you could play this course 2 years from now. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is still such a great course.
I wonder if they're going to add these crystals in future courses too, or if this is going to be a Crystal Lair exclusive feature. Time will tell. A lot of things going on with Mighty Coconut, I'm
Dude,
sure.
wait till they do a course and it's going to be one thing from every single course.
Yeah, totally possible.
They can do anything.
They're Mighty Coconut.
They've only just begun.
So who knows what else they're working on, but they've had a killer 2025 when you look at the amount of features they've added, little Easter egg things, bonus mini game things,
For Mighty Coconut to lose it, they'd have to
courses.
try to lose it.
Yeah, they
You know, like, what are you going to do?
I say
zero competition. Zero.
dare I say in 2025 they've hit their best rhythm yet. If it really
I don't
feels
know.
that way.
I believe the best is still to come.
I think that they're still
And
getting
everything's
better.
great. But yeah, dude, the way they're pumping them out, they don't rapidly grow themselves too much. It's like they got shit under wraps, but yeah, I still think we're just seeing the beginning.
Yeah, great stuff. So, Mighty Coconut, Walkabout Mini Golf. I always say it. It's like I feel like I have to say it because it's become my signature thing. Now, I don't have to say it, only if it's true. Hole in one from Walkabout Mini Golf on this Crystal Lair series. Or Crystal Lair course, I'll say. Great stuff.
Wonder if this is the last of the Crystal Layers.
I was wondering that. Or do you think that they're all gonna... Do you think that there's like a head boss we're gonna meet? Is there gonna be a boss battle one? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean,
All the evil...
we've now got what, 4?
three.
3 in what, 1 a year?
Dude.
So there could be many more to this little aspect
sub layer of lore that's gone on.
Dude, I like how they got their originals. They got IPs. They got now they got, Crystal Lair. They're beefing up.
Yeah, great stuff.
I don't think they'll ever touch an Upside Town.
No, but
just change the name to Upside Down Town, please.
Just let us win.
Let us win one.
Too fun. So $3.99 Walkabout Mini Golf, Crystal Lair course. I'm sorry. I'll give that my check of approval. I'm hooked on the crystals.
Yeah.
Which is probably, I mean, there's something funny about saying
hooked on crystals. Yeah,
with
called meth, bro. It's the code name Crystal.
So the other one,
it's true. So I wouldn't be saying I'm hooked on crystal.
I was so excited for this next one because it's multiplayer. Talking about VRacer Hoverbike. I'm biased on this one, so I'll give full disclosure of it. I work for Impact Reality. It's published by Impact Inc., which is the publishing division there. So definitely, I saw this one kind of all come together. And the first day I heard about it coming to the MetaQuest, I was like, I need to play this with you. Historically, you smoke me at racing games. You're really good at them. I mean, I think everybody's who's been a long time listener has heard you fanboy about Gran Turismo and stuff like that. Even enjoyed Grid Legends. There's not really too many motorcycle games on the Quest. There's V-Rider SBK, which is actually now on the PSVR 2 as well. Congrats to them. They launched last week. But VRacer Hoverbike, made by developer Vertex Breakers, it is so much fun. There's multiple game modes. You got single player, you have multiplayer. There's like a time trial. There's a combat mode. There's survivor, neon runner, and a career mode. So great stuff. Variety of playing styles. I like the combat mode the most. It's kind of like you can pick up weapons and upgrades and shoot at each other. But I'll let you more share your thoughts on it because, again, it's like I have bias. And as much as I can say it's just a genuinely fun game.
Friggin' shill.
Yeah, there's always that possibility that
shilling for the person you work for.
Obviously, you liked it. But no, I was like, you need to play this. The second I played it, so I was excited to get your thoughts on it.
Dude, the controls were easy. I find it cool that they give you adjustable controls, so you can obviously do the lean method. And
I was skeptical of the lean
if you
the first time I heard, but it was well executed.
If you want to go further deeper, you can go into counter steer, which for people who ride motorcycles are going to be like, yeah, that's where the realism is going to really start to shine. But it's smooth. I've had no. I mean, I do really good at the easy mode, like really good. In the hardest mode, I don't win.
That's what we did the first time you played. You smoked it on easy.
Yeah, it was like to the point where like when I did the weapon one, you're like, do the weapon one, and I'm like,
I can't even use them.
You're like, if you shot anything, I'm like, I'm so far fucking ahead. I'm like,
there's nothing
unless
to
I'm
shoot.
Dropping mines, there's nothing happening on my end. And it was like the next play, like my guy was way up there. Every time I do easy mode in racing games, my goal is to try to lap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what the track, I want to lap it. But I do want to mention the track variety is pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, so far it's a great game.
It's fun. I appreciate the career mode aspect as well too.
Give you the learning ability. Career modes are always great, especially multiplayer can be tough. You're gonna have people who I've been seeing videos from Tom Plays VR, so I anticipate, if you see him, just leave.
What an enigma. He's slowly come up in our conversations through the probably the last year as we've observed him be on leaderboards everywhere.
I get force fed his videos on Facebook.
They just come up on your algorithm organically?
Yeah, all the time. Now I'm to the point where I'm like, all right, I kind of want to play with him. I want to do some walkabout with him. No,
he's on every freaking leaderboard.
Puts a lot of effort. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to be good at one thing. It's like, just seems to have the Midas touch with a lot of games.
He's just a solid gamer.
And listen,
you beat him on the leaderboard. Be proud.
It might be. Well, it's like anything else, though. I mean, like when you see people do that, like throwing a card into a little sliver, you do it enough times. It was statistics. You're going to eventually do it. So he might play 100 times. I don't know. I do know that on that 100th time, it's going to be damn good, though. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting it out in the universe. You don't want to race him. He's got his hands on this. I'm seeing videos come. But so far, wicked good game. Crushing it in the store. There's not enough. And right now, I mean, again, I'll use Zero Competition. It's not a motorcycle game.
I was going to say the closest is V-Rider.
Yeah, but V-Rider is a motorcycle.
This is like
Dude, VRider.
This is Hoverbike. It's VRacer Hoverbike.
The one thing VRider does better than almost any racing game I've ever played is when you lean that bike into a corner and that wind is rushing, it's believable. It's like this should be attached to a sim unit with the big freaking fan and the
I wish I had a PSVR 2 to try that as it just came out on the PSVR 2.
Yeah, no, well. I don't see it doing bad. It's a racing game. They not trying to be anything other than what they claim to be, and you can't go in it and be offended that it doesn't have a Ferrari because it's clearly marketed the way it should be.
Yeah.
And then we can touch back next week because now I can get my hands like really into it.
Yeah. And by the way, I think if we raced again, I think you would beat me next time. I don't know what was up with me that week with gaming. I was like so on fire again in every game I played. I went back and didn't do as good against the NPCs.
If your ass plays this.
And then, dude, that week on Thrill the Fight, I was undefeated in Thrill the Fight 2 that week. Like, I don't know what was, I was on some shit that week. I was like,
good gaming run.
I need to do whatever I did that week, like supplement, eating, whatever. I need to do that every week because I was so sharp.
Gameroids.
Dude, I don't know. Like looking back on it, I was like, yeah, I've been like 0.500 in Thrill the Fight the last week. Maybe because we had a heat wave and I was dying or something, but
I was dying.
Dude, Thrill the Fight 2 during a heat wave is actually like you're fighting a third enemy, I've learned. It's called the heat. But VRacer Hoverbike, you mentioned it's doing good on the store. 4.8 overall with 97 really reviews. $29.99. Like I said, made by developers Vertex Breakers. This was out on PC VR, still is, on Steam a while ago. But the graphics on this for MetaQuest, freaking works. Like solid.
It works.
Really solid. It doesn't look like a downgraded PC VR game one bit. It looks like freaking...
I don't use the word exceptional. I won't. But not janky.
No, they're
it fits. It's not, you know, I didn't turn it on and be like, oh my God, it's revolutionary. Like graphically, but I never once thought the graphics were bad.
No.
So I think it's the perfect.
Oh, then they also have like the, you know, customizing your avatar, your bike with, you know, unlocking new skins, new bikes and stuff like that. So plenty of incentive to play through the curve.
Me good.
Yeah, they're good. They're smart. It's going to be a good game. It's cool to have this type of premium title.
What's out in the wild?
Yeah.
So, and people, I guess there's not a lot of racing games.
No,
I'm not
enough of them.
Admittingly, never have been big into combat racing. Only one on well,
you don't have to do the combat in this. They have standard racing mode too. So it's cool that they appeal to both. I've always liked those combat ones. I grew up with a lot of Mario Kart.
It's the Mario Kart vibe. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. It's like adult Mario Kart, it feels like in some ways when in that specific game mode. Those are always my favorite. So cool stuff. Great to see this one on the store. I was so excited for you to get your hands on it. It's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
This next one is ironically a flat screen game coming to VR. A pretty established title. Admittingly, I didn't play it. You sound a little familiar with it, but Little Nightmares, a very established flat screen game. They announced a Little Nightmares VR Altered Echoes, which is they call an official VR entry into the series. So it doesn't sound like they're porting one of the existing titles. This sounds like it'll be a VR, like made for VR spin-off in a way.
When you look at the name behind it, it's established.
Yeah. Oh my god, Little Nightmares. Even though I've never played it, I know the name. It's a very well established name.
I love that they're going to do a ground up for VR, which means we're getting a whole new game.
Yeah. They've confirmed beyond just the name. They haven't said a peep about it else. They said, here's the name. We're making it. We're coming out with it.
I'm admittingly a little excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. What platforms it's gonna be? I imagine MetaQuest, PC VR, maybe
definitely PC, man, because they can graphically kill it if you want.
That'll be the minimum. I hope MetaQuest for myself.
Probably
personally.
Pico.
Index. Maybe. I'm gonna guess they're gonna go PC VR, MetaQuest, PSVR. That's gonna be my guess. Let's see though. Time will tell. Again, all that was said was, hey, we're making Little Nightmares VR Altered Echoes. It was part of like they did a show.
See in a couple of years.
Yeah, they did a showcase, an in-house showcase for the flat screen game, and they just kind of threw this in there real quick. So it's not like a huge...
It's not like they're dropping a lot of VR titles, but
no,
it's good to see more and more of these companies with sound backings go, you know what? Let's make a VR game.
Bandai Namco, one of the biggest publishers since I was a kid.
Your whole life, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're very established. Interestingly enough, the studio behind Mother Gunship Forge, Terrible Posture Games, they put out a new game in partnership with Nerd Ninjas, who's also a VR studio. They made Rogue Pinatas to make a flat screen game. It's kind of funny how that goes. And that flat screen game is also published by Bandai Namco. That has no relevance to this story. It's just the second time I've seen their name with the VR, some connection in some way.
I'm sure everybody's connected to them.
Yeah, and enough like go-bys, you know.
Yeah, be like the Kevin.
They own this company, which is
every actor is connected to Kevin Bacon.
Too funny. Yeah. But Little Nightmares VR coming at some point to some console about something. You know, there's a lot of somethings in there. We don't know much besides the name.
Something dark side.
They did announce during that showcase that Little Nightmares 3 is coming in October. Maybe we'll see more news about it around that time, or maybe a launch to correlate with that if I had to guess anything. But I'm definitely excited to hear more on that. And I actually didn't even know that you were familiar with the Flat series. So now I'm excited as we get closer to the launch for more and more info.
Well, that's why I said I like that it's going to be its own. It seems like it's going to be its own game. You can play the flat screen. It's not going to be like, oh, it's the same game I'm just playing. Like, I'll use Civ. Like, Civ's got some unique mechanics to VR. And not much different than the flat screen, right? Am I crazy? Because you own the flat screen version of the latest one.
Besides UI...
Yeah, it's essentially the same game.
Yeah.
So when a company's like...
Until they put out the DLCs that aren't coming to VR, that's a different conversation.
Well, they're not coming, so...
then it'll be different.
I will still say Civ is... that. I think they did a good job. They had a rough launch. It was fixed a week later.
A day later.
They dropped the ball with, like, you screamed it from the highest mountain. Developer responses would have saved a lot of shit.
You just have to tell people you updated the freaking game.
Just give somebody access. It's too late now.
1-star reviews,
would have gone away.
They still exist, talking about an issue that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
hasn't existed since 12 hours after launch. 2.5 star rating.
Undeserving, dude.
Yeah, totally
undeserving.
Totally.
That sucks ass. Well, I got some exciting. What?
It tells me the time of day that they posted the review. That's new. So you could see how close it was. Example, if it's a day of review, you could see, like, did they post this 5 minutes after launch?
3 minutes after launch, yeah.
Holy shit. The only thing that Meta's missing now is, you know how on Steam it tells you the amount of time they played the game before they left a review?
Although I do think Meta should go through reviews and cipher out blatant bullshit ones.
Things that advertise and stuff like that.
That's your main job in life. This is the amount of games you get today. Go through them. Weed out the shit that's not true.
Oh,
a developer response?
There's one.
Get out.
There's one, but you see the rate of them.
Yeah, no, it's never, and it's too late now.
Yeah.
The time to do it was week 1. You could have just hammered them, really hit the socials. We are so sorry.
There was a way to recover that story.
But rating. I like the game, dude. I enjoy it. It's like,
this should probably be like a 3.8, 3.7. Well,
I'd put it at a 4.
Yeah, 2.5 is not representative of the actual quality.
For the current gameplay today, you buy it, you're going to tell me that's fucking broken?
And I think that the biggest factors against it are the fact it's a $60 game that comes with Civ, though. Oh, yeah. That's flat screen, that's Civ.
Different conversation.
It's Civ.
That's different.
I think that there's a valid complaint regarding UI decisions. And, like, even though they have a justification for it, I do wish that there was that Demio style movement. All of these things are definitely accurate complaints, but I would argue, based off of what I heard most people say, not talking about performance issues that have been fixed as of the first day, it feels like most of the complaints with Civ 7 VR were about Civ 7. No, they were about Civ 7. That, like, you wouldn't like Civ 7 if you play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's a port of a game that you wouldn't have liked.
But maybe they also know their audience real well, and they know that, like, look, don't even look at the reviews for a year. Give it a year and a half before the true, like, because Civ players can be a little hard, dude. They don't like change.
Yeah, the Reddit's in shambles.
Reddit's in shambles. It's a nightmare over there.
I'm telling you, you don't even want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah, see, so I mean
yeah. All right.
It's like certain games have a community that aren't going to be the most open-minded with.
It shows you that there's like.
But I would argue maybe they should have done a previous version. that has a solid track record with their community.
And I'll be honest with you, like developer responses, if you go on Steam, they're not as big of a thing. No. They're not really a thing on Xbox and PlayStation. So this is also like, Meta's like the only store I've seen where like developer responses are like the industry standard.
Dude, there's some Xbox developers. They don't give a fuck what you say. They don't post shit, and their game is crap.
I think 2K went into it.
Say nothing.
I think that was like a uneducated to the VR industry decision in not responding to reviews. They went into it with a flat screen mentality of like, you just ignore it.
But like, it'll go away.
It really does make a big difference on the MetaQuest store.
Look, the VR community is a very sensitive community.
It's unique.
Very protective, very sensitive, very passionate.
We like
very
to be
emotional.
acknowledged. They like to be acknowledged. They like to be like, have their voice be understood that it is being heard.
That's what was cool about the event, is that they had the flat screen streamers.
Yeah.
And VR peeps. That was a unique meetup.
Perfect example of our ability to get sidetracked. Back to the closing of the news story. Little Nightmares
There's
VR.
Literally like 5 items in the news.
Did you see me just move the Patreon up? Because I was like, oh shit, I have the Patreon like at the bottom. We don't have enough news.
Show's over.
I'm already doing it too far into the episode.
We literally have like no news.
Do you care if I just do the Patreon real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Huge shout out to our because like there's like 3 news pieces after this. It'll be right at the end. I feel bad. Huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. As always, the ones on our on-air shout out tier, but even the ones not on our on-air shout out tier. We were talking about some of them.
We love everyone.
Off air, yeah. I love everyone in our community. The people that pop into the YouTube lives and stuff like that, which I understand doesn't work for everyone's schedule.
Yeah.
Just,
it's inconvenient for me.
Yeah. So huge shout out to the people that are able to make it. And if you're not able to make it, it definitely doesn't make me, definitely don't take it personal, but do appreciate you tuning in and listening to the show. Huge shout out to all the people that participate in our awesome Discord community that make it what it is. And again, huge shout out to the people on our on-air shout out tier on our Patreon. We have Asim, Amelia, Carson, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, Shoes, and Tom. You'll hear a lot of the same names really week after week. It's, they're great supporters. And I think that level of positivity and support, you feel it in the Discord too, not to over push that, but we're just very proud of what that community is. So if you're a fan of the show, subscribe. If you haven't already, rate us 5 stars. Drop some comments in the YouTube comment section. That helps the old algorithms and stuff like that. And, check out our Patreon. Check out our Discord. Go hang out with some other Ruff Talk VR fans. Just don't be a bot. You'll probably survive 2 minutes if you're lucky. I think we even kicked one this morning. I saw fresh and early. I woke up and saw what went down there last night. So,
that was hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was in general chat too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Amelia's the best.
I saw somebody post the popcorn meme, like, let me see.
I think it was live open mic right after Amelia posted the @ why are you sending me a direct message?
Amelia's been getting involved in a lot of Resonite streams.
Dude.
I've been seeing her work with other creators.
Amelia
with that.
is Resonite right now.
Huge props to her. I'm so happy to have her a part of our community. She does so much as a mod and really rallying the community with events. So
you know what's crazy? Because she's not exactly the most meta embracing person in the world.
That's a kind way to put it.
Yeah, of course. But knowing how she's able to build worlds, like really good shit in Resonite, I can't help but think if she went into
crush it in Horizon Worlds, yeah,
she could be cashing in on some of that.
She's shutting off the podcast for right now.
Shutting off that. I'm not putting on that headset. But no, I feel like in Horizon Worlds, she could build worlds.
You can't even build worlds in headset anymore.
No,
it's PC only.
But it's made it easier.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is actually more right up her alley than doing it on a Quest headset. She could build worlds on a PC and not even put them on, not even have to play them. I'm just saying, because Meta's offering
just planting the thought seeds, So again, though, huge shout out to our community, all of our listeners, our Patreon members, and maybe you could be one of them too. So you want to take it with your first piece of news? And
I
made sure not to grab this one, by the way, after last week.
I appreciate that.
I learned my lesson.
I'll just grab 2 stories at once. Bink, bink.
You're even laughing about it this week. You're like, you never do that stuff.
I'm like, dude, you got to grab like the only best news of the whole week. I'll just take them both. Unless you had your socials off last week, because it hit like mainstream media. It was, the collaboration of Meta and Microsoft was announced years ago. They've done some little shit together.
Some big creators getting involved in it.
But they dropped a limited edition,
Limited supply.
That scares me. Yeah, it's limited edition too, because if you ain't selling it after the supply runs out, that shit's limited. $400 Microsoft and Meta Quest 3S. It is not just the standard 3. Will come complete besides the slick looking all black headset with Xbox neon and marketing. You get the Xbox controller, which is perfect. You get the 2 touch controllers, which is perfect.
Last week, there were some rumors that it wouldn't come with touch controllers, which would have been absurd.
You get the Elite head strap.
And I basically, think 3 months of Xbox Game Pass, too.
Basically, you're going to spend more to get it, but you're going to save more by buying it, if that makes any sense.
Well, because if you were to
individually price out the headset, the Elite strap, and all that,
and the
gamepad, the controllers, blah, 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 it's going to cost you $100 more or $100. Yeah, you'll pay $100 because they're saving $100 if you buy the damn thing.
The Quest 3S, 128 gigabyte is $200. This is $400. That's what you mean.
It's really meant, it's really meant to focus on cloud gaming. So that's why the storage isn't jacked, because you technically don't need it. It is just a 3S. It's not mechanically any different or worse. It's just really meant to show the love for Xbox cloud gaming.
It's a skin. It's like when they sell like the
beautiful skin.
You know when they sell like the God of War editions of PlayStation?
Yeah, Halo, Xbox.
Yeah, it's like that.
Dude, it's a collector's edition.
It $1,000,000%. There's nothing that Xbox edition can do
that your headset can't currently do.
If you own a Quest headset, it does everything the same. And like the Quest 3S is better than an
Xbox controller.
The Quest 3 is better than a 3S, so it's not selling the best version of it. It's 100% a collector's item. It's 100% a push to get flat screen gamers to take a look at it and kind of like show off features that me and you know about. I cloud game on my headset all the time, but not everybody knows that. So it is good. There's value. I mean, I saw a lot of coverage on this thing, like from people that wouldn't normally cover VR, I would say.
Well, they gave a shitload out. Xbox did.
Not to
their creators. Well, we're definitely not Xbox. Xbox love for sure. I've got episode after episode talking about that. But some creators I know did get some. Mm-hmm. Definitely Xbox creators got them first, because if you look at all those videos day one, they got them. They were like open on this date type of situation.
Date and time.
You posted a video today I saw, or shared it with me, of a Reddit kid who took a Sharpie to his or made a skin for his headset. So
he posted a picture of that maybe like a couple months ago. So Meta reached out to him.
He made his own. Not a big time creator at all. Like doesn't even have a channel.
Not a creator. Not even a creator. Just a dude.
Just made a headset. Or colored his headset.
And so Meta saw it and reached out to them and gave him
an Xbox headset, which, not for nothing,
is cool community.
Yeah,
like monitoring. That's crazy.
Dude,
that
the kid's got a limited edition freaking Quest 3S.
The post only had like 100 upvotes as well. The source one of it, like the first one that he posted.
Well, I mean, there's an odd factor to it, but I'll save that for another day.
Well, I mean, I guess they're watching everything, so to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like even if your Reddit post doesn't get a lot of traction, they probably saw it.
Somebody noticed it from Meta.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Not a lot of companies, I think, are involved to that level, I would say.
So currently sold out
on Meta's website.
Yep.
We did see it on Best Buy.
Yep. You can go, only available in the UK and United States.
Yes. If I'm not crazy.
Yep.
In the UK, I think they're selling at EE, not Best Buy. Yes. I don't know EE's current stock. In stock near me and online on Best Buy. It was available as of Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, it's still available right now.
Yeah.
But supply and demand, when the supply runs out, Meta says when it's gone, it's gone. I don't know how many are in the wild.
I think that this is one that you shouldn't do limited supply, dare I say.
Crazy too. I think it hurts Microsoft more
because
than Quest, though.
I think it's getting so much attention. I mean, like, why not sell 10 million units of this thing? Right? Am I crazy to say that? Like, I feel like it's gonna sell.
Well, how many? I can't find any on commitment of production.
No, it sounds like they made what they made, and when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, but they could have made 10 million.
That's true.
And we don't know.
But it's already off their website.
Wow.
Now it's in retail.
Listen,
you think that was marketing?
100%.
kind of now people are going to run to Best Buy.
Oh no, the only ones left are at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Meta doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're wholesaled out in a truck.
I think they should sell this a year from now. Like if people are buying them,
still available a year.
I hope so. That's what I'm just saying they should do. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying like that. If I were that, I think that you just milk this baby.
It should be as long as that relationship between Microsoft and
it's attracting flat screen people.
Meta works. They should.
I had flat screen friends. I'll say my friends that only play flat screen friends sending me links like, "What is this?"
Well, the beauty is if you're a flat screen player, one of the biggest complaints you're going to have in your whole life is when I go somewhere, I can't bring my. Technically, you shouldn't
Your console.
bring your freaking console.
Yeah, play your Xbox.
But this, dude, you can literally play it on an airplane if you got the internet. You'll need the internet for cloud gaming, but a lot of people do have their own hotspots, and hotels all have internet. I already knew when I saw this thing, I was like, that's my travel headset.
That's
right
my hotel
there.
headset.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. If I was going anywhere, I'd be like, that's it. It looks cool. I love it. It's a conversation piece. But
now I lean on the other side.
Of not opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mentally, I'm like, I would need two. One to use and one to like just it goes on a shelf. And what's sad is like one could say, oh, because it'll increase in value, but I'm weird with shit, dude. I have shit that like is worth nothing, but if you offered me $1 million for it, I would say no. And that's so crazy because you'd be like, you wouldn't take $1 million for this? And I'd be like, no. I'm too attached. I'm way too emotionally attached. It's not worth me having $1 million. That'll come and go. This will be with me to life. Get what I'm saying? Isn't that
Throw
weird?
this in my casket. You know?
So I know if I did do one to never open, it would be pointless. I'll be in the dirt, and that thing will never have
I'll
been
never
sold.
have the heart to sell it.
At that point, yeah. Well, would you sell it? Oh yeah, I remember me and my dad bought that.
People still have Ataris in the box.
Yeah, you can still buy them.
Yeah,
People sell them.
that's crazy.
I'd love one Quest headset unopened in a box from every headset they've ever made.
Yeah, CV1, the DK1 and 2. Yeah. I want the Go. I want a Quest 1. Quest 2. I want a museum.
Yeah.
You know?
I just got a new shelf
An
at home
artifact
too.
of time.
Nice 5-shelfer. So I got all my headsets. I got 3 on the bottom, and I'm going to put hooks on the shelf above it and hang my 3S's above it.
So I think we're going to blow through these next ones. I will say, though,
Yeah.
a bit bummed we did not get one, but undeniably good marketing, like in partnering with Microsoft, and it's cool to see the partnership expand. Yeah. I hope the next Xbox console has VR support through Quest headsets. That's where I've hoped that this partnership...
Someone pooped all over my rumors at Xbox and saying, no, it's just going to be a straight console. But
there's
I didn't
rumors
see,
of it coming back now.
because I didn't see a lot of like...
That wasn't picked up too much. And like now, Xbox's mobile app, or not mobile app, Xbox's PC app, now you can link your Steam account and boot Steam games through it. So like,
so they're gearing up, and this is the catalyst to do it with too.
And I totally haven't I said this for years that this would be the ultimate cherry on top? Like this would be the perfect climax of this Meta partnership. But no, we've said it for years. Like if this ends with being able to play VR games on a Quest headset connected to a Xbox, like dude, that means that to play PC VR quality games, you would just need to buy an Xbox.
Although, just to be clear, you are not going to be in VR playing your Xbox games.
No,
you'll be in VR, but
right
you're
now.
going to be watching a screen.
I'm talking theoretically.
I know. I just don't want to misrepresent.
Yes, right now you can only cloud game flat screen playing on a flat screen game in
on a
headset,
fat TV in front of your face.
in headset. But it would be my dream if the next Xbox, a dream theoretically, hopefully, could support connecting a Quest headset to it to play
correct
PC VR games,
which I believe it will.
If there's Steam connectivity, why not? You know, and that would mean like, all right, PC VR, all you need is an Xbox console, which a lot of people are going to buy anyway. So now you own that Xbox. All right, you want to play VR games with it? You buy a $300 Quest headset. Like, I think that'll increase sales of an Xbox, and I think that'll increase sales of a headset.
How do we know the next console Xbox drops isn't going to come with a bundle package with a black Quest 3?
$9.99 console and headset. 3 months
Pretty
of
much
Quest
what
Plus.
it would cost. Yeah.
3 months of Quest Plus.
And Game Pass.
Yep, boom, bundled in.
Yep. I don't know where this relationship's going, but
I'm just saying that would be my dream climax of it. That would be where I hope it goes.
Climax. I don't get that excited.
That is a legitimate word. There's like climaxes of story. Where your brain goes with that is your own fault. I don't tell you what to think.
Good thing you didn't talk about that.
I can just drop you. I can just put little hangers up there and hope you grab one of them. That's okay, but I can't choose how you think. So no, that was a really cool,
fantastic
one from last
move in the wild. The whole world knows about it. It made I was excited to see it picked up by major news outlets. It's big news.
Big creators are going to start to cover it. Part of the reason that I hope that keep selling that baby,
Mm-hmm.
Available now while supplies last.
$400.
$400.
Plus
Buckaroos.
Plus tax.
US dollar.
Plus tax.
So this next one, I am convinced that VR games should not use the acronym MMORPG. I petition we stop it at MMO because the combo of VRMMO RPG, that's like the craziest abbreviation ever to just casually say. Like that is a mouthful. VRMMO RPG. I say we cap it at 5 letters. VRMMO. Boom. We all know we'll all have the correct visual, right?
No, people seem to like the more letters in something, the better.
VRMMO RPG, just crazy. So a new one has entered the playing field. Right now, currently, there's Zenith. Feels like it's on the way out. They've had a lot of struggles. Alicia's kind of had a second resurgence. They announced they're going free to play. They recently had their 1.0 release too. Orbis was an old school one that recently shut down. There's been many attempts at VR MMO RPGs, and the newest one to enter the player field, Eldramoor, Haven in the Mist. It is a fantasy VR MMO RPG that is planned to come to Quest and PC VR, and has launched a Kickstarter campaign. So I don't really need to go through what the game's going to offer because it's standard RPG stuff. Go, quest, hang out with friends, combat. There's going to be little activities that you can participate in, like darts, fishing, just to socialize and hang out. So we'll see. Like I said, been many attempts at this. Few will succeed, few have succeeded. We'll see.
Plus, that's a tough community.
MMORPGs, yeah. And it is tough to start with a Kickstarter, too.
And you're going to try to appease all of them?
Yeah. Their Kickstarter...
Not happening.
Total is... Crushed it, though. They were very modest with their goal. They put $2,500 as a Kickstarter goal.
$25,000.
Sorry. Yes. Missed a zero.
I was like, that's very modest.
They put $25,000 as a Kickstarter goal, which unless you live in a country where $1 is going to last you a year, is realistically a very little amount to make a game on. But luckily they have crushed their Kickstarter. And as of right now, it's still able to be backed. They're currently at the time of reading this, $94,000 in their Kickstarter. So people are showing up and supporting. They've crushed their goal almost 4 times.
Dude, that's a big average donation.
With 540 backers?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
almost 100,000? Are you kidding me?
That's actually a really good point. I mean, so clearly there's people willing to support. That's an average donation of $174. People are showing up and supporting this. That actually blows me away. So huge props to them for rallying the community. It's made by there's some involvement with former Orbis members in there as well, too. So we'll see. Developers Resolute Games, another player has entered the field. Congrats to them, though, for crushing their Kickstarter goal. And I'll definitely keep an eye on this as more plans of the development and launch start to come out.
Tough market.
Oh, yeah.
Or a tough genre to crush it in, but people want it, obviously.
Even
shelling out some serious cash.
Even Upload VR at one point in their article goes, this raises questions about whether the VR market is ready for an MMO. This is kind of like a... no one's saying it's not.
They just need a good one.
Everyone is cautiously...
Although there's some flat screen ones that could come over that are successful in flat screen that would definitely do justice.
I would say that there's cautious optimism.
Okay.
Going on. That's how I would describe it.
So this will be kind of short, but since we committed to throwing more PlayStation stuff into the mix because I'll we take them a little more serious than we did a couple of years ago. Now that developers are popping in there, but Sony is highlighting, or so says Upload VR, 4 upcoming games for PlayStation VR 2, which is kind of cool to see even that get said. You know, like Sony saying
a
these
specific
are games.
marketing beat
instead of like the developer said, you know.
Oh, and by the way,
just so you know, Nut Judge. So
a follow-up blog post after like a whole showcase. You know, they've done that stuff before too.
Yeah, we'll get the work we didn't do. So it's cool to see them taking their own product a little more serious. So I'll read off what the 4 games are. I won't necessarily get into the nuts and bolts of all of them, but I will say not one jumped out at me as like feeling like a must-have or something that like I'm like really aware of and I'm diehard, if that makes any sense. So we've got Dreams of Another, which is slated to come out later this year.
There's one that pops out to me, but I'll let you go through them all.
There is gameplay footage of it. It's a shooter. That's all I can say. I have no particle-filled world. So this one, a little weird, kind of actually of all of them, this one's probably the one that has my most interest, called Meteoria. You're going to play as a meteor. It's a racing survival game, and you're going to whiz through outer space. I just never played a game as a meteor before, which I'm sure is no different than a space game just skinned as a meteor.
I can make a guess because there's no gameplay. I see. Maybe you have to like try to not crash into like a planet or something like that. Like you have to make it to whatever your destination is. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, man.
How's that going to work in VR? Are you going to be first person, the meteor? Is it going to be like third person?
I don't know.
Top down? That's kind of cool,
not
though.
saying top down or what the... Anyways, that one intrigues me because it's kind of cool.
The next one is my number one.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Grit and Valor 1949. Using that alternate history, the Axis forces have taken control of Europe instead of vice versa. Roguelite. Oh my goodness. And I am off the I don't like roguelite bandwagon, so I know like I would like this genre. One.
I think you wrote there was something you filled out today that like you were listing your favorite genres, and I think you put roguelite in there.
I might have.
In one of the 4 or 5 that you included.
Yeah, it was silly. So it's using all the nice keywords that we want. You know, obviously 1949, we kind of know the time, but we got mechs, we got words like commander, you know,
real-time tactics,
top-down perspective.
I love these type of top-down.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough of these real-time strategy games in VR from top-down. They're like some of my favorite genres.
So it launched in flat screen game earlier this year. It's coming to PS5 and PlayStation VR 2 on August 21st, right before my birthday. Oh. When the Steam version will get PC VR support also.
Wow.
So August 21st for that one. I'll agree. That's probably the most exciting one.
Mm-hmm. The Meteor one, though, you actually sold it. I didn't give it the biggest look over. Like, that actually sounds really freaking
I'm
cool.
Intrigued by the Meteor one because I'm like, haven't done that before. And I'm a sucker for things that haven't been done.
Unique concept for sure.
Then we've got Hotel Infinity, which will arrive later this year, but this is a cool one because it's going to come out on PlayStation VR 2 and MetaQuest 3 later this year. So we will be able to get our grubby paws on this one if we don't have PS5s by then.
Filthy old paws.
It's a puzzle game. So say no more for me. I know I'll try it. Very, very strange description. I'll plagiarize off of Upload VR's article. To explore a twisty hotel filled with complex head scratchers and architectural anomalies. That's a beautiful sentence. Who can I give credit for that?
Sarah Thwaites. She wrote the articles about our showcase too. So
dude, Upload's
brownie
got some,
points.
They've got some really good. And I'm not saying that now. I said this last week, I think, with Dan Hopper.
Mm-hmm. Don Hopper. Only a syllable. That was only a letter.
They got some good writers.
They're my go-to
because I'm visual. Your words, I have to see a picture, and if I just like that sentence. But anyways,
can I say something though? It's so stupid. It's a me thing. I find Upload's user interface of the way their articles look, with like the black background, the white text, their formatting, like their homepage, it's the easiest to navigate. It's like so
user. It should be.
I know, but you go to a lot of them, they're not.
No.
I feel like upload like it just
I like
feels
that
like
they
home.
don't. I like that they don't beg you with a PBS donation every time you click on an article. It's like random.
It's great. You go there. There's like the top news at the top, and then in chronological order that they came out, it just goes down. They got some categories. Boom. That's all I need.
You know what I like about them? Oh, the disclaimer on their own article. This article was updated after publication to clarify that 3 of the 4 games are not PlayStation VR2 exclusives, and that 3 of the 4 are not newly revealed.
Okay.
So
okay.
They self-corrected themselves on their own.
And not only did a shadow edit, like documented, like we made a mistake, and here's where we fix it. No, they got journalistic
what's cool
integrity.
is in the heading, it doesn't say exclusive at all. Just says 4 interesting VR titles. So that works. But yeah, no, I'm definitely kind of stoked for 2 of them. I'm happy we'll get to play Hotel Infinity. I wish I had seen the I shouldn't play the trailer. Okay, so it looks like something I would definitely play. Puzzle game, dude.
I'm all
take one of those a month.
puzzle games. For sure.
So kudos to PlayStation and kudos to Quest because we're getting one of the 4.
Grits and Valor, I hope comes to the Quest.
We'll see what happens.
So with strategy games, like my new thing is, I've decided we actually talked about this like a couple months ago with like pushing with Sims and stuff like that. I got Civ. Huge props to you too. You got most of the games that you've pushed for besides Grand Theft Auto. Like they've all come through. Like it's
the only one.
It's great for us. My new one that I'm pushing, and I won't shut up until we get it, is a Total War game in VR. I want the Battlefield, dude. Like Shogun's Empire is so much fun. It's turn based. I'm starting to lean that real time strategy might work better in VR than turn based, at least for multiplayer. Like turn based in multiplayer VR is tough. You know, flat screen you can always go grab a glass of water while your buddy goes, nah, dude, it's gonna take me 5 minutes on this turn. We experienced that with Civ. It is tough waiting for someone. I think real time strategy is like, I think it's better for VR. And like commanding a battlefield and taking over and handling diplomacy and politics, like I crave that in a VR game right now. Top down, managing armies. Let's go. So I'm not going to shut up till I get it, you know. Total War in VR, just I'm throwing out there. It took 3 years for Civ. If I start today, you know, maybe in 3 years we'll have Total War. Any hoots though. That wraps up the news. Like we said, not loaded, but honestly fun stuff. You know, Xbox Quest headset, a new VR MMO that's 4 times its Kickstarter. New games for PSVR 2 announced. A new Walkabout Mini Golf course with one of the coolest new features, as well as, you know, the CocoVision as well too. The new feature that I find so cool is the crystals. We had VRacer Hoverbike. We had Little Nightmares VR. Like, so say maybe not like the most amount of news, but I think everything here was like really fun stuff though. So I have to say though, we've been ending every episode for maybe the past, 3 months now, going over the upcoming VR games. So if you don't mind, I will take the first half and then I will pass the second half to you of the upcoming games on PC VR, PSVR 2, Quest, Pico. In this section, we do not discriminate on hardware. It just has to be VR. So coming July 2nd to PSVR 2, we have Firmament. Coming July 10th to PSVR 2 as well, we have Cave Crave, which is out on MetaQuest. We have on July 10th, Jungle Man from Fun Train. We shouted them out a bit last week during this part too. Big fan of that studio. People behind it are awesome. Prison Boss Prohibition, one of my most anticipated releases this year, no doubt. Coming July 10th to PC VR and MetaQuest.
2 weeks.
I'm excited. Chess Club, game already out on MetaQuest. Big fan of it. Coming July 18th to PSVR 2. Le Mans Ultimate. Coming, many jokes, I'll move on. July 22nd, coming to PC VR.
And that'd be Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Not Le Mans. Le Mans.
Sorry.
The racing fans will get real pissy.
Elemental Towers, coming July 23rd to PC VR. Monster. Titans Playground, coming July 24th to PC VR. And Boxing Machine VR, coming July 25th to PC VR.
And Boxing Machine was one that I was looking really forward to until we saw the trailer. That was like not my style of boxing game. Then we got, and I find it hard to believe this is actually part of the name, but this is twice I've seen it, SCP-087, the Stairwell Horror VR, coming July 30th on PSVR 2.
As crazy as this sounds, for the market that they're attracting, is the people that game is for are going to read it and go, that's a must-buy. SCP is an online... Now, how many players this is that are going to know this? Is that enough to make you a lot of money? I don't know. But it's like an online subculture of short stories that are like horror and like psychological thriller based. So like people that know the SCP online stories are going to go, oh, that's an SCP inspired game. But I agree. For me and you scrolling on the store, you're going to look at that and go,
just weird.
Is that C3PO got a game?
Okay. Anyways, Bow Course Archery Golf coming July 2025. PC VR, Requisition VR coming July 2025 on Quest headsets. Rogue Pinata's VRMMO, great freaking game, coming July 2025 on PC VR. Wicked curious how that's going to be. Space Drop coming July 2025, PSVR 2. Buildport Zumia coming July 2025 on Quest 3. Space Explorers Ultimate Edition coming July 2025 on Quest. A lot of Quest activity this week. Premier League Player coming July 2025 to Pico. Wondering where Pico's been. Wanderer, The Fragments of Fate. Still have to finish that on my end. Coming July 2025 on Pico and PC VR.
I'm so excited to see both Requisition VR on the MetaQuest and Rogue Pinatas on PC VR, like kind of inverse of each other. You know, those are, I'm excited to have that standalone capability on Requisition. We played it on PC VR, and Rogue Pinatas, I'm so excited to see it in that maximum, resolution and stuff on PC VR. So, fun episode today. We still went pretty long, actually, for it being the amount of news it was. It's a good thing it actually was this amount of news. Otherwise, it might have been a 3 hour. So, thank you everyone who tunes in, who listens. Hope we make your work commute, your day a little bit better. You can always check out our Discord, our Patreon, as I said early. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars if you're feeling so kind. Like
it's free.
Feeling real kind, there's that Patreon. And we will check you out.
That is not free.
Later this week with a fun interview. Ooh, an interview?
I wonder who. It's not Zuckerberg.
It's not Zuckerberg. It's not Palmer Luckey.
Ugh, just once Palmer Luckey, dude. Well, we could try.
Yeah, should send an email before we go. Come on,
start calling him out. Why you being like that, man?
You haven't even fucking asked. Would have said yes if you asked.
And
you don't gotta say anything on camera.
He would be able to provide data.
You
too.
never
He's
asked me.
I want to show you, man. I'm in your phone right now. I'm in your email right now. I'm in your Netflix account right now. Nowhere in there.
You want to see how far government contracts can take you?
Look out your window. You see that thing buzzing around your house?
Well, you've sure messaged your dad a lot saying you'd like to, but you haven't. That's funny. All right, so check us out, and we will see you all later this week. Ciao, ciao.